One of South Africa's most loved comedians, RIAAD MOOSA, chats to us about his new norm in lockdown and his online shows. Welcome to The Loft, RIAAD.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Okay, before I kind of eased into this conversation quite slowly, but thank you for reinvigorating me and just getting me awake. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Now, RIAAD, break it down for us. What experiences and challenges have you been experiencing during lockdown with your family?
It's been quite intensive. I have 4 children, and we all locked down here. My parents are staying next door to us. My grandmother is there as well. So it's a really big, happy family. And it's quite intensive to manage everybody's requirements. And I have no privacy. So the only privacy I have is when I'm in the bathroom, and even then I don't have any privacy. There's usually scream, I want whatever. My son just this morning was complaining that his toast wasn't the exact same size. He was like complaining that because I cut it into 2 different pieces and the one size wasn't the same size as the other size. So this is the drama I have to deal with on a daily basis. So it's quite stressful, but it's fun also to be together. It's getting a bit like much now. I think I'm longing for some freedom, but I think we all just have to be patient.
RIAAD, it sounds like you and the rest of the South African parents out there are all in agreement. Now, your kids are involved in your videos too. So how are you enjoying them being part of your stories, as they are quite entertaining themselves?
Yeah, it's entertaining for you guys to watch, right? But on a daily basis, from a moment-to-moment basis, it can be quite aggravating because my daughter insults me on a daily basis, and from moment to moment, I love her very much, but she's got a very, 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 very fast mouth. And, I sometimes capture that on film, and then I utilize it in my social media. And I don't feel bad about exploiting my children in that way. I don't know if it's my Indian background, but I think, they need to contribute in some way to us. So they're also going to be hopefully be part of my show at the end of the month. So I'm excited about that prospect.
Now, talking about your work and earning that coin with the Material World movie sequel coming up, how did you complete it during lockdown? And what challenges did you have to experience and have to overcome?
Now, well, we didn't complete Material during lockdown. Luckily, it was completed just before lockdown. So everything was filmed. However, we were trying to finish some of the score and the music and things of that nature, things with regard to the editing process we were trying to finish. And because of lockdown, we won't be able to have a theatrical release because obviously crowds have disappeared, like my theater shows.
Okay.
So we're trying to figure out like different ways of getting it out there. I can't let the cat out of the bag yet, but there may be some very interesting news to announce very shortly, but it's not available yet. However, I do have, this is just by the way, another comedy special streaming globally on another platform.
Yeah, let's leave that there, full stop. Okay, but RIAAD, the honesty is, without audience interaction, how do you feel about having online shows and now streaming from your home as opposed to having to be in the theatre?
Well, you can't get any feedback. That's the main issue, because usually as a comedian, I'm used to some laughs, but I can't hear, and the LOL in the comment section is just not the same. Even the smiley face with the crying tears is that's the happy, laughing face that doesn't do justice, and I'm performing, not in the theater, in the convention center. The convention center is a hospital now, right? I'm not at the Baxter or nothing. I'm streaming from my house. My loo, my toilet is right over there. This is not what I expected show business to be. You know, I can't hear the laughter, but I can hear the flushing. This is not cool.
This is not glamorous at all.
Yeah, I'm doing a live stream. There's a live stream just happening right there also at the same time. So that is quite anxiety provoking. But one of the cool things about it is I thought, you know, I would make it different in that I'll add multimedia to the show as well. Right, that's one of the cool aspects of this type of show, and I can incorporate my family into it, which I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise, really. So I'm looking forward, and I'm excited. I've watched a couple of live performance shows, and I mean live stream shows, and I'm very excited about doing this.
Now, RIAAD, before we let you go, let's touch on this new show of yours and the new tour that you're going on, Not a Nice Guy, COVID edition. Now, this has to have been put on a halt due to COVID, but viewers can watch from the comfort of their own couches. So please, maybe tell us a bit more about this show and what can viewers expect? I mean, I'm loving the fact that our viewers, our guests on today's show are taking full advantage of the digital space.
Yeah, so Not a Nice Guy is like sort of I don't want to say it's about my midlife crisis. It kind of started that way, you know, because just like a couple of years ago I turned 40 and I've been quite like introspective about how I, Dr. RIAAD MOOSA, became a comedian. I mean, I'm an educated individual and now professionally I'm a clown. I'm like, what happened to me? Both my parents are doctors. You know, my dad always used to say to me, RIAAD, you can do whatever you want to in this world as long as you become an orthopedic surgeon first. So no pressure there. So I embarked on that journey and I studied for many years. But Valessa, I don't remember anything. Studied for years and I remember nothing. So I always tell people in my shows, if you like choke on a whisper or whatever and you go, is there a doctor in the house? All I can do, I can spring to action and then entertain you as you slowly pass away. That's the extent of my ability. Can I tell you a joke before you die? That's what I can do. And that's very irritating to me, you know? So Not a Nice Guy is about me getting irritated, you know, because when people usually say, you know, RIAAD, you're such a nice guy, you know, but now my general demeanor is like, yeah. And this was before lockdown, which has just exacerbated this whole thing. And I want to go back to being the nice person. My heart was loving and my exterior was loving, right? But now, like I'm still nice on the outside, you know, because I believe in being nice. But like I'm like the leather of my car seats. I'm not genuine anymore, right? There's this inside me that I'm trying to get control of. But generally, I talk about my experiences as a husband, as a father, you know, also talk a little bit about South African politics. Obviously, I'm going to talk about lockdown because that's all we experience these days. You know, so it's just, all I'd hope is that, you know, I can, you know, relieve some of the tension that exists in people's lives at the moment, you know. Maybe I don't know any more medicine, but I guess laughter is the best medicine, as they say.
I mean, South Africa, you know, when you're working with a professional, a true comedian, he takes your segue. RIAAD, that was my segue. You know, laughter is the best medicine, and that would have led me perfectly to my next question. But when you're dealing with a pro, lockdown or no lockdown, he is always on his toes. And speaking about being on your toes, I mean, what have you enjoyed and disliked the most about being on lockdown? And do you have any golden rules for any families out there? Any advice?
Hey, look here. All I'm saying is to be understanding. This is a bit serious. Be understanding of each other because everybody's reacting to this very, very differently. You know, because like I noticed that introverts are like more resilient to the lockdown than extroverts. Extroverts go crazy. I need to get out there. I need to go. The introverts are like, woo, that's like perfect for me. I'm just chilling at home, you know. And then, so you got to be understanding because people mitigate and they negotiate risk differently. You must understand that we're only trying to find out. People are finding out more and more and more about COVID as we go on and be understanding of that. It's like, like a vampire, when vampires first emerged, right? People go, okay, these vampires, now we need to get in the house, right? Okay, then they decide, okay, it's daytime now, we're going to go out now. Let's go out, let's go, we have to go out. And they find out they don't get chowed in the daytime. Okay, so we're safe in the day. Then 12 people decide to go out at night, right? And 11 people get chowed, right? And the 12th person didn't get chowed. Why? Because he had a garlic cheetah for supper. And garlic garlic apparently protects you against vampire. Oh, so now we figure out, that's what happened. The vampire is like susceptible to a garlic cheetah, right? And that's exactly the sort of thing that's happening now.
Yeah.
You're finding out more as it goes on. And nobody has all the answers, but I think we need to be understanding of each other and understanding that it can be stressful and people deal with stress very differently.
Yeah, RIAAD, you are a true superstar. I love that analogy. Thank you so much, though, for helping us understand. And I'm pretty sure a lot of parents out there now know another way to break down COVID-19 to their young ones. And thank you so much for giving us laughter as our best medicine. We appreciate it. And I'm sure so many people out there are going to be tuning into your Not a Nice Guy show.
Thank you.
Cheers, RIAAD. And please say hello to the family.
Yes, I will do.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Catch RIAAD MOOSA's new show, Not a Nice Guy, COVID edition online. Tickets available for purchase from Quicket, and proceeds from the show will be donated to Penny Appeal SA.